Welcome, my name's Lauren. I'm going to be guiding you through a 60-minute Pilates, Matwork Pilates progressive level class. All you'll need is your mat and we'll get started. So making your way onto your back. The legs will be about hip bone width apart. Hands can come down by your side. Start to connect to your breath. Unlike most wellness classes, we're going to start to breathe into the back body, breathing into the shoulder blades, feeling them expand, breathing into the back ribs, and starting to feel a connection through the front body as you do this. Turning on the abdominals. Feeling the parts of the body touching the mat or the floor beneath you. From here, we'll bring the base of the hand onto the pelvic bone, the hip bones. The index finger will come onto the pubic bone. So you're creating this little diamond shape through the hands. And then from here, start to rock the pelvis backwards and forwards. A small little movement. We're moving the hip bones above and below the pubic bone. From here, let's find a position where the pubic bone and the hip bones are level. They're on one plane. You can have a little look to check that your thumb and your index finger are in line. Notice how this position feels. This is your neutral pelvis. I'll cue this position throughout the class. From here, bringing your hands down back by your sides. Roll the shoulders away. It's an exhale to tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, come back to your neutral pelvis. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Inhale to neutral. So this is called imprinting. The first part of the Foundation series by Joseph Pilates. On your next exhale, we'll tuck the tailbone under. Start to float the hips. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale, start to melt the spine back down one vertebrae at a time. Meeting in your neutral pelvis. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, roll the spine back up. Inhale at the top. Keeping a connection through the front body, ribs to hips are connected. Keep moving here. Feeling a connection through the inner thighs, keeping the legs parallel. We're warming up through the spine, the back of the legs. Feeling each vertebrae melt down as you roll the pelvis back down. This is our last one. Exhale to roll the pelvis back down, meeting me in your neutral pelvis. Now we want to maintain the neutral pelvis. Hands come over your shoulders. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to chest lift. Sweep the hands down by your side. Tumble the body up and over. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to chest lift. Keep moving here. This is chest lift 1. You're welcome to stack the hands behind the head for chest lift 2. The head is heavy in the hands. Elbows are wide. Feeling the weight of the head in the belly. If you want a little bit more, legs can come up to tabletop. Chest lift 3. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lower the head down. Bringing the hands down by your side. Bringing the legs up into tabletop if they're not already there. Coming back to neutral pelvis. We're going to hinge from the hip joint to lower the right leg down, tap the toe. Exhale, draw the leg back up. Alternating between sides, so left leg lowers. Inhale to lift. We want to keep the shape of the leg. So that 90 degree through the knee. In my regular classes, you see a lot of people just dropping the calf. We want to hinge from the hip joint. Keeping the upper body stable. Last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. From here, we're going to glue the knees and the ankles together. Arms come out a little bit wider. It's an inhale to take the legs over to one side. Exhale, come back through center. Inhale to the other side. Exhale through center. Spine twist supine. We're cutting the torso in half, finding torso rotation. As we move the legs over to one side, take your pelvis with you. The knees stay in line. Upper body is stable. If you want a little bit more, as you bring the legs over to one side, extend the top leg, keeping the knees glued together. Draw the leg back in. Exhale through center. Inhale to the other side. Extend the leg. Draw the leg back in. Exhale through center. We've got 3 more. Staying long through the waist. Last one on each side. And then meeting me with tabletop legs. So from here you have the option to keep the legs in tabletop, or you can bring them back down to your bent knee position. Our pelvis is once again in neutral. Hands come over the shoulders. Exhale to chest lift like we did earlier. This time you're going to stack the hands in the center. Exhale to rotate to one side. Inhale through center. Exhale to the other side. This is called Hula. It's the same as our chest lift, but we've added rotation. You have the option to stack the hands for Hula 2 rotating. And I see a lot of people moving with their elbow. Let's try to avoid that if we can. Keeping the upper body in the same shape the whole time. Shoulder blades are off the floor. Head is heavy in the hands. Last 3. And last one on each side. And then lowering all the way down. Great work. Have a little moment here. That's the end of our little warm-up section. The legs will come long along the floor. Now your moment is over. Hands come back over the shoulders. Inhale to chest lift. Exhale, you're going to lift up and over. This is quite a difficult one. You can grab the back of the legs as you roll up. And then fold forward. Inhale. And then exhale as you roll back. We're going to start to roll back only by using the pelvis. So like you're on a travelator at the airport. Come back onto your spine. Inhale to chest lift. Exhale, lift up and over. This is called a roll up. Exhale, roll the spine back down. And if you're finding this is a lot on the back of the legs, you can keep a soft bend in the knees as you fold forward. Inhale to chest lift, exhale, lift up and over. We've got one more here. Inhale, exhale. Meeting me on your back. From here, we'll take the arms out a little bit wider. The right leg comes to tabletop, and then reach the toes towards the sky. Now you can keep a soft bend here if it's quite strong on the hamstrings. We're going to internally rotate the leg. So imagine you're turning the thigh bone in the hip joint. Draw the leg across the body, down, around, and then start to externally rotate, finishing off your circle. Inhale and exhale. This is called our leg circles. Imagine you're stirring up through the hip joint. I want you to imagine that your pelvis is like a bowl of water here. So we want to keep our bowl of water level, trying not to spill any water from side to side, keeping the pelvis and the upper body stable. Changing directions here. And then last one, and you can lower the leg down. Maybe patting out your little hip flexor here, and then we'll move on to the other side. Left leg comes to tabletop. Reach the toes to the sky. Inhale, internally rotate the thigh. Draw the leg across the body, down, around as you externally rotate. Now your circles don't have to be huge. The main thing is that we're maintaining stable torso and pelvis. The movement loses its value if we do these big crazy circles. Personally, I find I have quite a clicky hip joint, so smaller circles are better for my body as well. Changing direction now. And then slowly lowering the leg down. Take a little moment. And then from here, we'll bring the legs into tabletop. Come back to your neutral pelvis. Hands come over the shoulders. It's an exhale to chest lift. This time we're going to hold up. We're going to start to pump the hands. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our hundreds prep. You have the option to extend the legs long for our full hundreds, which is what Pilates is renowned for. We have 10 pumps for 10 breaths. Feeling the weight of the head in the belly. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Have a little moment. And then we're going to hug the knees in, roll up to a seat. Shuffling towards the top of your mat. This is quite a fun one. I enjoy this one. Let your inner child come out to play. We're going to balance on our pelvis. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Round out through the spine. Inhale to rock off balance. Exhale at the top. Inhale and exhale. This is called rolling like a ball. Depending on your spine structure, you'll either love it or hate it. And usually what we don't enjoy is what we need the most. Last 4, 3, 2, and last one. From here, we're going to make our way back onto our spine. So you're going to take your right leg with you. The left leg is long along the mat. You're going to bring the right hand to the ankle, left hand to the knee. Staying up in your chest lift. It's an inhale to swap the legs. Exhale, hug it in. Single leg stretch. Trying to maintain your neutral pelvis. This is the beginning of our abdominal series. Last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Maintain your chest lift. Inhale, reach the arms and the legs long. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hug it in. Double leg stretch. The lower you take those legs, the harder it's going to be. Last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Hug the knees in towards the chest. You're welcome to rest the head for a moment if you need to. Otherwise, straight onto the next one. Right knee is hugged in. Hands come back behind the head. You're going to rotate towards the knee. Inhale, swap the legs. Exhale to the other side. Inhale and exhale. This This is similar to our Hula, but we are adding the legs. This is called crisscross. You might know it as a bicycle crunch. Trying to keep the upper body in the same shape rather than crunching with your elbow. So we want to avoid that. We've got 4, 3, 2, and last one. Make sure you're even, and then we'll hug both knees in again. Last exercise here. Right leg comes to the sky, left leg comes down. You're in your neutral pelvis. Inhale, swap the legs. Exhale, pulse, pulse. Inhale, pulse, pulse. This is called hamstring pull or scissor. If you want a little bit more, you can come to hamstring pull number 2. Hands come behind the head. We've got 4, 3, 2, and last one. You can lower all the way down. Amazing work. That hurt me. I don't know how you're feeling. That's the last of our abdominal series. From here, we're going to meet at a seat. We're going to bring the legs about hip bone width apart. I like to sort of shuffle my bum out of the way. So we're in a neutral pelvis, but we're sitting upright. From here, hands come in line with the shoulders. It's an exhale to lift up and over, folding forward. Inhale to hold. Exhale, restack the spine. Exhale, lift up and over. Inhale to hold. Exhale, restack. So this is called spine stretch. And as you lift forward, I want you to imagine we're lifting up and over a beach ball or something fragile in front of you. And keeping the head in line with the arms, we want to get that flexion through the neck as well. The neck is an extension of the spine. Last 2. And last 1. From here, we're going to take the feet a little bit wider, about mat width apart. Maintaining your neutral pelvis. Hands come out to a T. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, rotate to one side, a little pulse, pulse. Inhale through center, exhale, pulse, pulse. This is our spinal rotation. It's called spine twist sitting. Chopping the torso in half, trying to keep the upper body in one piece. Last 4. Trying to keep the spine up nice and tall. Last 3, 2, and last 1, and meeting me through center. So from here, we're going to add the flexion and the rotation together. It's called SAW, S-A-W, not you're going to be sore, potentially. We'll take the arms back to our T. It's an inhale to rotate. Exhale, dive forward. So you're soaring off your little toe. Your back pinky comes towards the sky and the gaze can follow. Inhale to restack. Exhale through center. Inhale to the other side. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Moving here at your own pace. So as you dive forward, we want to keep that sensation of lifting up and over. We're finding internal rotation of the humerus, the upper arm. Last one here. And then we're going to meet at the top of the mat. Bend the knees, we'll start to roll all the way back down. Setting up for your pelvic curl. We have a neutral pelvis, hands are by your sides. And then it's an exhale to tuck the tailbone, start to float the hips. Inhale at the top, exhale, melt the spine back down. Inhale to prepare, exhale, tuck the tailbone, float the hips. Now you have the option to reach the hands up overhead, keep them there, and then you're going to melt the spine back down. This is called lat stretch. So you might start to feel a stretch through the upper body. Sweep the hands back down when you're in your neutral pelvis. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift the hips, float the arms overhead, and exhale, lower the spine back down. Inhale, reach the arms back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift the hips. Inhale, sweep the hands overhead, and melt the spine back down. Keeping a connection through the front body at the top. Last one here. And then you'll sweep the hands back by your sides, maintaining your pelvic curl, your bridge position. We're going to shift the weight into the left leg. Keeping the pelvis stable, you're going to float the right leg up into tabletop. So to do this, you can press into the hands, press into the left leg. You're going to hinge from the right hip, tap the toes down like we did earlier. Exhale, draw the leg back to tabletop. Inhale, tap the toe down. Exhale, lift it back up. Keeping the whole body stable here, maintaining the height of the hips. You've got 4 more here. Last 3. 2. And last 1. Lower the leg down. Shift the weight into the right foot. The left leg comes straight up into tabletop. Inhale, tap the toe down. Exhale, lift it back up. You might notice one side feels a little nicer than the other. I know my right leg is a lot stronger. Last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Lower the leg down. Stay in your bridge position. We've got 4 little pulses. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll the spine all the way back down. Checking in with your pelvis. You're going to bring the legs back to tabletop. Hands come a little bit wider. We're coming back to spine twist supine. So it's an inhale to bring the legs over to one side. Exhale back through center. Inhale to the other side. Exhale through center. Now you can either extend the top leg straight away, keeping the knees in line, or you can extend both legs long. Bend the legs back in, draw them back through center. Inhale to the other side, either one leg or both legs, draw it back in. This is extending a lever, making it harder for you to hold the legs in that position. Rotating from the torso. Last 2. And last one here. Make yourself even, coming back through center. And then you can lower the legs down. We're going to roll onto our right side. I like to line myself up at the back of my mat. So your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked, and then you're going to bring the legs slightly forward of the body. Stops you from rolling around. The top hand can press into the mat in front of you to give you some extra support. Taking a few breaths here to set up. And then I want you to find length through the top leg. So imagine I'm pulling your leg out of its socket. You're going to exhale to lift the leg, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. And while we're moving here, we want to stay long through the waist. So a lot of people will reach their leg all the way up to the sky. Yeah, I can do that. But they are crunching into their waist. So it's a slow, controlled movement. You're long through the waist, stable through the torso. If you want a little bit more, you can bring the top hand to the hip. That's going to take away a base of support. Or you can bring the hand to the sky. We've got 4 more here. Last 2. And last 1. Bringing the hand back down, we're going to move on to AB and adduction. So the top leg is going to lift a little higher than hip height. The bottom leg is going to come to meet. The bottom leg will lower, the top leg will lower. So it's a lift, lift, lower, lower. Ideally, we're keeping both legs off the floor the whole time, but if you need a little rest, you can lower to the floor. So this one's going to be a little bit more of a play of your balance. But you're welcome to take the hand options that were mentioned earlier. You might roll around, that's okay. Last 4. And then last one here. You can lower the legs all the way down, give your glute a little pat out. And then we're going to prop the head up. So now it's like a little tanning spot on the beach. Your top hand can stay in front of you. And we're going to turn the left leg out so you're externally rotated. From here we're going to do the same thing. Point the toes, exhale to lift, inhale to lower, keeping that nice long waist. Same movement, but it's going to feel different. You want a little bit more, you can add the hand options. I prefer the hand on the waist so I can keep my waist nice and long. Last 4. 3, 2, and 1. From here you're going to flex the foot, kick it forward, pulse, pulse, point the toes, inhale to return. Exhale, pulse, pulse, inhale to return. So as you bring the leg forward, the natural response is to roll the body back, and then as you kick it back you want to roll forward. We want to keep the whole upper body in one piece. The torso is stable. Last 4, 3, 2, and last one. We've got one more exercise here. Meet me at hip height, point the toes. We're going to make some little circles for 4. Last 2, last 1, change direction. You've got this. Last 2, and last 1, lowering the leg down, give the leg a little pat out, and then we're going to move straight onto the other side. You can just roll over to the other side or swap ends, whatever you prefer. Starting with hips stacked, shoulders stacked, a nice long line with the body. Bringing the feet slightly forward of your long line. Take a moment to set up, have a few breaths here. And then finding length through the top leg. So that sensation of pulling. And then it's an exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Option to take either hand on floor, hand on hip, or hand in the sky. You've got 4 more here. Last one. Then you can bring the hand back down. We're going to keep the leg at hip height. Bring it a little higher. Bottom leg comes to meet. Bottom leg lowers. Top leg lowers. Lift, lift, lower, lower. AB and adduction. Staying long through the waist. You can play with that hand option. You will roll around a little bit, no doubt. You might find one side a lot harder than the other. That's okay. Four more here. And last one, lower the legs all the way down, pad out the glute, and then you can prop the head up. Check in with your hips, so the hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, and then we're going to externally rotate the top leg. So you're turning your thigh bone out. It's an exhale to lift the leg, inhale to lower. So we need to keep the nice long waist. That might mean your lift is a little bit smaller. You can also bring the hand up if you want that option. You'll start to learn your body's preference. Some people prefer internal rotation, some people prefer external rotation. Two more here. Last one. Bring the leg to hip height. You're going to flex the foot, kick it forward, pulse, pulse. Inhale to return, point the toes. Exhale to kick. Inhale to return. Last four like this. And last one, meeting me at hip height for our last little exercise. Some little circles. You've got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg down, pat it out, and then we're going to roll straight onto our belly. You can rest the forehead on the mat, and the hands can come down by your sides. So from here, we'll just take a few breaths like this, letting the pelvis be heavy, the feet are together. And then it's an inhale to start to hover the nose off the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift. Start to roll the shoulders away. Exhale, lower down. And now we're like a plane on a runway. So inhale, lift up, lift the chest, lift the arms. Exhale, lower down. Keep moving like this, each time lifting a little higher. We're working through extension of the spine, opening the chest. Trying to keep a neutral pelvis. So this might feel a little bit different because we're the other way around. Feel the hip bones heavy. You've got 2 more here. Last one, we're going to hold up. From here, bring your arms out to a T. Can we lift a little higher? Lifting one leg and then the other. Sweep the arms forward. Start to kick the arms and the legs. This is our full swimming. Imagine you're swimming away from something, maybe a shark, maybe your children. Trying to keep the torso stable here. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Great job, lower down. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Press the hips back through child's pose or a rest position. Hips are heavy, round out through the spine. And then from here, we're going to bring the body back up. We're going to set up for a plank position. So you can choose your options. You can either have hands, long legs. You can come to kneeling. You can come to elbows, kneeling, or elbows, feet. Choosing a position that you feel comfortable to hold. So we want the ankles, hips, shoulders in line. Press the shoulder blades apart. We're going to breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pike the hips up. Take a few breaths here. And then we're going to inhale to ripple forward to plank. Exhale, pike the hips up. Inhale to plank. Exhale to pike. We're going to move here for 4. 3, 2. Last one, meet me in a pike. You're going to lower your knees down so you're on your left side. From here, we're going to set up for side support or side plank. Your left hand's going to come slightly forward of your shoulder, so we don't have too much pressure here. The top leg is stepped forward. Both legs are bent to start. You're going to exhale, press the hips up, lengthen the legs. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, press up. Inhale to lower. Moving here at your own pace. If this is too strong on your wrist, you're welcome to come to elbows. You can also do the same thing with the bottom knee bent. Last 3, 2, and last one. Meet me up, and then you're going to lower the hand down, come back to pike. Take a breath. And then you're going to lower your knees over to the other side. Setting up for side support again. The hand is slightly forward of the shoulder, top leg in front. Exhale, press up, legs are long. Inhale to lower. Once again, if it's too much on the wrist, you can lower down to the elbow, or you can bend the bottom knee. Last 3, 2, and last one. Coming back to pike. Take a breath. And then we're going to step through for our last full body challenge. So, we're going to set up in tabletop legs in this little like boat position. Hands come out long. Inhale, you're going to lower down to your chest lift. Keep this height, we don't want to lower down any further. And then exhale, come back up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come back up. So this is our teaser prep. If this is too strong, you have the option to stay with chest lift 3, which is tabletop legs. Exhale and inhale. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower down. Otherwise, staying with teaser prep. So you're hovering in your chest lift. Exhale to teaser prep. Inhale, lower back down. You can probably hear in my voice, it isn't easy. We've got 4 more here. You're doing amazing. Last 3, 2, and last one. Lower down, hug the knees in. And then a little challenge is to roll up and meet me standing. In a little forward fold position, soft bend in the knees. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, we're going to start to roll up through the pelvis first. And then the lower back, mid back, upper back, and neck. Take a deep breath in, maybe reach up onto the toes. Exhale, sink the heels back down. We're going to step the left leg back. I want you to keep your neutral pelvis, so hips are square, tailbone and hip bones are in line. Bend into the right knee. Hands come out to a T. You're going to inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, come back up. Inhale and exhale. So it's really easy to hike the hips here. Keep them level. On the next one, we're going to hold down. Bring the hands around to frame your foot. You're going to extend and bend through the leg. Inhale to bend. Exhale to extend. Last one, we're going to pause with our extended leg. Try and keep a nice flat spine. You can also bring the hands below or above the knee if the floor is a bit too far. And then we'll bend back into the knee, bring the arms back to our T. Exhale, draw the body back up. Step through to the top of the mat. Now we're going to step the right leg back. Check in with your pelvis first. Hip bones and pubic bone are in line. Hips are level. Bend into the left knee. Arms come to a T. Inhale to fold forward. Exhale to draw back up. I notice with my body, I tend to roll the right hip back and open, so I need to try and keep my hips in line. It's handy when you have mirrors to adjust your body when you're practicing alone. Next one, we're going to frame our hands around the foot. Exhale, extend the leg. Inhale to bend. Last one, extend the leg. Pause here with a flat spine. Hands either around the foot or above or below the knee. And then bend back into the left knee. Arms come to a T. Reach the body back up, stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, maybe coming to the toes. Exhale, nod your chin to your chest. Roll the spine all the way down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, move through the pelvis first. Lower back, and then mid back, upper back, and then the neck. Reach the arms up one more time. Exhale, sink the heels, nod your chin to your chest. Rolling all the way down. And notice where the weight goes in the feet. A lot of people tend to put all the weight back in the heels. Can we shift a bit of the weight forward? And then exhale. Roll the pelvis, tuck it under. Roll the lower spine, mid-spine, upper spine, and neck. Reach the arms up one last time. And exhale, lower down. And you're all done. Thank you so much for practicing with me. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. And hopefully I'll practice with you online soon. Thank you.